Great. I don't know if anyone's going to ask any questions in the chat room or anything, but you can just yell at me if they do.
Okay, if I see it.
Pokemon's really big. My Schwartz is really big. Magic is really big. Yeah. And I saw some Yu-Gi-Oh, but not a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
I assume Yu-Gi-Oh was like killing over there.
Maybe didn't go to Yu-Gi-Oh day, but they had cases and cases of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
Okay, awesome. How's the image look?
Looks great.
Okay, so
You look great, Roy.
Thank you for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause. We super appreciate you being here. It's the all hands meeting for the marathon. When did we start the marathon?
First year we took over the hideout, 2009.
2009. This is what happens when you do an event based on a rumor of what another theater does. Andy had heard about other theaters doing marathons, and we reverse engineered what we thought the marathon was supposed to be like, and we made it way harder, and then we doubled down. But we're super excited. It started as a 40-hour marathon. We added an hour each year, and then we decided that 48 was about as far as anyone should ever go, and maybe a little bit farther.
And more crucially for the people in this room, the first year it didn't occur to us going into the marathon that we would need food or volunteers or really anything.
So
that was a mistake.
The marathoners were kind of on their own, and their friends would bring them
It was a
food.
nightmare. So thank you for volunteering. It takes a lot of people to make the marathon go in a way that is remotely pleasant for anyone involved.
It's a wild event that is on paper and in real life a bad idea, but it is very fun and super chaotic. And I want to start off this year by turning it over to Jessica. Jessica, tell them what it's for and specifically where the money goes.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for helping out. It goes to the youth programs, and we use it for actually all sorts of things. We use it for scholarships for summer camps, so that kids who wouldn't be able to do summer camps are able to do it. You might be like, oh, good, they get a fun thing. No, improv is so good for the soul. Amelia, how important is it to have improv as you're growing up?
It's incredibly important. Oh my gosh, it changed.
Because they lied. So even just the basics of let's get some kids in to do summer camps is great. We also have a Building Connections program, which is for kids who are neurodivergent, and that is coming back in spades this year, so I'm very excited about that. It is so good for kids on the spectrum, and also they're hilarious. If y'all get a chance to come and see a neurodivergent showcase, just do it. It's one of the funniest things. It's one of the funniest things that you'll see.
And you will in the marathon. You should go see it. It's always one of the best hours.
Yeah.
And it's a super good time.
And then another thing that we're doing is we're going out to the juvenile justice system to work with teens who have stuff and are incarcerated, and we do improv as a way to build their social connections and how to work together. And also I teach failure. Sometimes when you make a mistake when you're 16, maybe you should be able to be all right, let's move on from this. So those are all great. And then also just having this kind of background makes it possible for us to be this out there. And every once in a while, really that we can help people out. But generally, it's to help out kids in the world with improv, using the improv tools, which not only helps the kids, but also helps strengthen improv tools in the world, because I do interact with other people, and we're building these tools not just for kids in Austin, but we're making the world a better place. That's why.
I guess where the money specifically goes, are we paying our salaries?
No. This is to pay. I'm so sorry. I see what you mean now. This is generally to pay teachers to go to do things, or to pay give kids scholarships to come to camp. This is not to pay for admin or whatever or that kind of stuff. It goes for kids. Direct to the program. I will say that I would do this anyway because I'm a masochist, but this just makes it easier for me to do it. And anything that doesn't get covered by y'all, I just do it anyway. So that's what's happening.
Excellent.
But it's still, we would really like you to do it because I can't do it all on my own.
Let's go forward and just start talking about some of the different positions at the marathon, because literally, I don't know if you saw the volunteer signups, I'm sure you did. There were over 200 positions, there were exactly 200 positions to sign up for, I think. That's not everything. Those are just the ones that anyone could sign up for. So kind of what you will encounter on most hours when you come to an hour of the marathon is kind of at the top of the volunteer hierarchy, there is a manager on duty. It's often someone on the management team, so the three of us, or Andy, not Courtney because Courtney's in the marathon.
Yeah, we're like, you're lazy this year.
We've got some other managers on duty in the audience, so raise your hand if you're one of those as well. Okay, cool. So they will be the person who's kind of handling the marathon admin at any given time in the moment. So they do stuff like make sure the marathoners are taken care of when they need things, making sure that the volunteers are here or they're on their way, keeping the marathon green room tidy while they're in because food kind of collects. Some marathoners don't eat much and some of them eat a lot, and then we always get too much food. So making sure that the kind of show starts and ends on time and that it lasts long enough. We always ask people to do try to do a 45-minute show, because if you do it, we don't want to give the marathoners too much of a break, or what's the point, right? And then the main thing they're there to do is to solve any big logistical problems that come up in the moment, like a volunteer doesn't show up, or there's, God forbid, an emergency, or there's a odor, anything like that. They can kind of debug in the moment and solve those things. They also host the show. So that's kind of the top, the run. Right, kind of adjacent to them is the house manager. They do usual house managery things. They coordinate with the box office. They kind of let the audience know that the house is open. They coordinate the timing of performing with the guest troops, and they also help out as needed. Is there anything I'm missing from that kind of list? So cool. Tech does tech. The guest troops will check in with you. That's something that the house manager will facilitate. Tech, if it's not a show that you already are the tech for, generally speaking, your tech will be very minimal because there's just not time to give someone a cue sheet. So it'll be lights up, lights down, and just basically whatever you feel comfortable with. So if you sign up for tech shifts and you're kind of I haven't done a lot of tech, it's fine. The bar is low in the marathon.
That reminds me though, manager on duty will also be responsible for hosting actual shows, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So starting telling people what it's for and shouting at the sponsors if you remember, and getting them to scan that code and give us money.
Box office sells tickets and t-shirts, and box office generally stays in the box office for the hour that they have volunteered for, or the blocks they volunteered for. During an ordinary week at the theater, we only keep them in 30 minutes past showtime. Since it's the marathon, people are going to be rolling in potentially any given time, and the first place they're going to look is the box office, so we want someone in there. Green, do you want to talk about how box is working this year?
Yeah, so box office is a little simpler than it has been in the past, because we have a new box office computer where we basically can do all of the ticket selling happens on the computer. There's no paper paper sheet to check in people, and anyway, someone wants to buy a ticket, you sell them a ticket on the computer by marking what ticket they bought, hitting a button, and then you charge their card on the little square terminal. We have instructions that are very detailed. That's if they're buying a ticket, and we're gonna have as always, every year we have a program for the marathon that is a grid of all of the shows that are happening. That is what we're using as the physical ticket. So you will stamp the program for the ticket, the shows they bought a ticket to, hand them their program, and then they will show the door person that when it's time to go into the theater. Alternatively, if they come up to the box office and I bought a ticket online, you can look their name up on the computer, see that they bought a ticket for the given show. Again, take a program, stamp the show or shows that they bought, hand them their program, and same thing for a marathon pass. All of those instructions are written down, so when you get into the box office, glance at them, read them. We will post them in the volunteer group as well, so if you want to, you can look over them. It's very simple. You mark the ticket on the computer, then you take money, so we have their money. Because if you don't do that part, we don't get money, and then we're giving tickets away, which we like less.
Can we take cash?
We do not take cash for anything except donations. Everything is going to be card. inevitably someone will come up to the box office and they're like, I don't have a card because I thought it was 2008. Worst case, take their cash, put it in the donation bank pouch, which will be in the box office. But in general, for t-shirts and for ticket sales, we want to take card only just because it's easier, it's cleaner. Occasionally someone will just have cash that they want to donate, which is great. We'll take their money for that. Yeah.
Cool. And as box office, if you have any questions, the house manager is the first person you check in with. If they're new to house managing, then the manager on duty, someone will be able to set you right.
Chances are, in the wee hours, we will start doing things like telling people if they are seeing a show, if they're in a show and they want to stay for the next one, they can get a ticket for free. So we'll say go to the box office and tell them that, but that'll be communicated with the house managers, so you can verify that that is indeed a thing.
Before we move on from box, can we
Yeah.
allow them to donate for tickets via Venmo, or do you not want us to do that?
Sorry, donate? What-
Like if they can they pay the Venmo for tickets, or do you? Okay. Cool.
Because that won't be connected to the right, yeah, and then we won't know which was a donation and which was a ticket sale. It'll be hard to distinguish it.
But that is a good solution for the middle of the night when you would give someone a free ticket anyway, to just be like, hey man, throw what you can
Sure.
into the Venmo.
Yeah.
Ticket taker takes tickets. Also, they do whatever miscellaneous jobs the house manager has for them. Early on in the marathon, I think one of those jobs will be taking the newly minted t-shirts and putting tape around them and labeling the size. It makes it way easier to distribute if everything.
Those should probably be
Good.
more accurately called ticket checker, because we don't actually,
You take it briefly, you punch a hole, and you hand it back to them.
not for the.
Oh, right. No, you're right. This is ticket observer.
You verify that their program has a stamp for the show that's about to start, and you hand it back to the program.
Yes, thank you.
But it's also a nice place for you to be like, hi, welcome
Yeah.
in, that kind of stuff. So that's a nice way.
You're not the bouncer, you're the greeter.
Yeah, yeah.
There are food runners, not a whole lot of them, but their job is to grab meals for the marathoners that Cream has prearranged and bring them to the theater.
Yeah, bring them to the theater, or more likely drive in front of the theater and stop and put their hazards on, so the house manager or the manager on duty can send someone out to grab the food from them, so they don't have to try to park at like 6 p.m. on a Saturday. So they'll be communicating with using the WhatsApp group just to let people know when they're on their way. Absolute worst case, and this only applies to the managers on duty need to know this. Absolute worst case, you could have them pull into the alley and you can deal with it that way, but hopefully that won't have to happen.
The only other position I have written down is photographers. I haven't opened this up to the general public yet. I hit up a few of the photographers that we know and love about what shifts they wanted to do. And I was holding off on putting it in the sign-up form because I wanted people to sign up for mission-critical positions. But I'm happy to say that we only had like 15 positions that people haven't signed up for, and the vast majority of those are ticket taker, which we can deal with anyway. So this year we're going to have really good coverage in terms of there being a house manager and a manager on duty for almost all of our shows. So it's going to make life much easier in the middle of the night. But I will open that up. So if people would like to photograph shifts, or they know someone who would like to get some practice photographing shifts, they can do that. And yeah, are there any questions about any of these roles, how they kind of work together, anything in that domain before we move on to the next section? How about it? Yeah, go for it, Diego.
The mention about ticket takers and the program and the seal. The official way to get into the show is if your program has a seal in that show.
Yep.
Yeah.
No physical ticket.
No physical ticket. The program is their ticket, whether they got the program because they have a marathon pass, or they bought a ticket online, or they were given a comp. Like, they need to have that thing, or they can't get it.
Hold on to those programs.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
box office will be the one stamping them.
Right. And basically keeping count to make sure to not oversell. I mean, it'll be nice
Box
to
office
sell
will
out.
be the one that's making sure it doesn't oversell.
Cool.
Every time a ticket is given out, they'll mark it off using the computer, so that'll guarantee that you can't oversell.
For better or for worse, there won't be a lot of danger of overselling, we
Couple of the shows.
couple of shows will, yeah.
Yeah, we had
It
some
Troy, can I just say hey real quick? Hey, I'm Nick. I'm working on a little mini doc series on the or doc project on the 48. So I'll be kind of popping around. I'm gonna get some coverage here real quick if that's cool. But I'll be able to see me during the weekend probably.
Cool.
Maybe even late nights.
Nice.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, there was that 4 a.m. show last year that was packed to the gills.
Saturday 4 a.m.
Yeah.
on Vargas.
Sometimes it happens. It was fun.
So great.
Yeah.
What do you do if it oversells?
You don't oversell it.
Don't oversell.
But
You're not saying that's a thing that just
we have a lot of safeguards in place to make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Sometimes people sneak in or it gets weird. The downstairs theater can support more seats than we sell. But the upstairs theater, we do sell like at capacity, which is 49, so we try to keep it to that. But if we get close to that in the upstairs, then we move the show downstairs. Almost all the shows we're doing can flex between the theaters. In fact, even though most of the shows will be in the upstairs theater, we're online, we have capacity set to 75, which is the downstairs capacity, and we'll be keeping track of how many
So
seats.
that's something else the manager are doing is check with the box office, see like where we're at, as far as whether it needs to be moved to the big theater.
Yeah. The other thing I'll say too is, obviously you're volunteering, and some of you are volunteering at super weird hours, and I really appreciate that. If you have it in you, watching shows after your shift is ended is always a good thing. 'Cause honestly, I don't know, Adrian, you can attest to this. Like having an audience is like is the biggest thing, right?
Honestly, even just having like one person in the
Yeah.
audience at 2 in the morning was, or like
Yeah.
4 in the morning was great.
It's such a difference between performing for no one and performing for one person. Like tremendous difference.
And some of the middle of the night shows, the audience ended up participating in it too,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
they were like, just from their chairs, they're like, do this thing with us, and we're like, okay.
Yeah, and I'll also say like, you wouldn't think it, but sometimes like Sunday at like 9 a.m. can be like the deadest shift. Like those like, it's early morning, but the night owls have all gone away,
Yeah, yeah,
and the
night
people
owls
who
are
are like,
sleeping
I'm gonna watch it most of the day, haven't arrived yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool, any other questions about roles and responsibilities? We're gonna send all this information
Yeah.
out, and we'll have it printed for you as well, so.
The only thing I have to say is if you're doing anything voluntary, like try to get here, like you said, 30 minutes before your shift if possible, because that was the issue sometimes, trying to scramble on and figure out who's doing what, and people would like walk up right like 5 minutes before,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I will say that like a lot of times people are signing up for blocks of shifts. So if they've been like teching through the night for like 5 hours, and then their next tech person is running like a little bit late, it can feel pretty rough.
Oh, and on top of that, if you know that you're gonna get coffee or something beforehand, maybe leave the extra time for that, because oftentimes you'll be like, oh, I'll check in and then get coffee, but you'll check in and then you might have a bunch of other stuff that you have to do and you won't get coffee for another 2 hours. So I always pee and get any drink that I need before the shift starts.
I have a question. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go for it.
For the marathoners, since we'll be getting them things, is there a petty cash or will we submit reimbursements for stuff like that?
There is not petty cash because we do everything is card
Mhm.
at the hideout right now. I'll have to think about what we're gonna do for that.
Okay.
I know we are gonna do another, like, we'll do another HEB run, because we do an initial one when it starts, we'll do another one in the afternoon on Saturday, so we can like keep a running list of stuff they need and do that. I will figure out a way that the coffee house can provide stuff, because we can't just have anyone walking up to them and saying, give me a thing, but if there's a way to make it clear that you are doing it in an official capacity,
Doing a break.
figure that out as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions about roles and stuff? Awesome. Let's talk about show info. So if you're in a show or someone asks you a question about they're in a show, here's some information about that. Call time for groups is 45 minutes before your scheduled show time. Super important because the house manager and the manager on duty will start to worry if no one from the next group has showed up. because like, you know, if it's 4 o'clock in the morning, there's a strong chance that somebody overslept and they're not coming. So if they're in place 45 minutes before their show, then all is right with the world. As soon as you get there, check in with the manager on duty or the house manager so that everyone knows that you've arrived. Most of the shows, as we said, are going to be in the upstairs theater, and the green room is completely taken over by the marathoners. That is their sacred space and their home for the weekend. So that leaves the downstairs theater for group fun. So after you check in with the manager on duty, you'll come into the downstairs and warm up. Unless the show is in the downstairs, then you'll be in the upstairs theater. Stay out of the upstairs green room. That's the easiest way to say it. Like, even if you're like good friends with a marathoner, don't like peek in to be like, hey, happy to see you. You know, like, they, depending on the hour, they could be in any one of different moods or states of sleep or whatever. It's best if we just stay out of there. And plan for a 45 to 50 minute show. Basically, we want the show to come down right around the 50-minute mark. And the shows will start no later than 5 minutes after the hour, regardless of what's going on, because there's always another show in the next hour and there's a tight turnaround. But we don't want the show to be any shorter than that, because too much downtime, weirdly, is bad for the marathoners. And the only time they get significant downtime is if they're eliminated early from Maestro. That's their only loophole.
Some idiots decide to direct Maestro in the marathon.
Again, a bad idea. I want to set some expectations for performers as well. So I'm just going to try to read through this list. So there's nothing quite like the marathon, but it's complete chaos, and the show that's going to happen is not the show that you're bringing to them. The marathoners are going to do their best to honor the tone and structure of your show, but remember, they're very tired. They also haven't rehearsed your format before, so they'll probably mess something up. So half the fun is seeing what your show becomes when it's combined with 8 people who haven't done it before and 8 people who are sleep deprived. So your tech requirements, again, will have to be minimal if you're not bringing your own tech. Assume you'll have lights up, lights down, anything else is a bonus. Depending on who's in the booth, they may be able to do more, but because of the short turnover, you have to be able to convey that. And finally, here's a little counterintuitive advice, but I really believe it, which is don't dumb down your show for the marathoners, and don't give them easy roles in your show. So don't be like, we'll play all the main characters, y'all can just play side support. That way you don't have to know the format, and it's the best of both worlds.
So then what you're saying is you can just fall asleep in the wings.
Yeah. So basically, like, the marathon really is a really hard task to do 48 shows and do it for 48 hours. So, like, the more you can actively engage their brains and give them jobs to do, the better it is. So don't try to make things easy on them, because it will actually make it harder on them. Adrian, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I was definitely, if I didn't have like something to do, I was asleep on the side.
Yeah.
And had to have Hop drag me on stage and be like, this is what's going on right now, and be like, cool.
So a lot of times, like in past years, I would book like a narrative show, and they would be like, yeah, we're just gonna do a loose montage. And it was like, damn you. And a loose montage is fine, but if you have more than one of them, if you have 2 of them in a row, it becomes this weird limbo for the marathoners. I think those are the main points for performance. It's like, set your expectations appropriately, do a show that is just the right length, and have fun with the chaos.
Have you, I assume, troops, you warned people against doing a slumber party show?
Oh,
In the
I
past,
forgot,
like,
but no one has submitted.
In the
a
past,
slumber
like
party.
5 troops come in, they're like, we're gonna have a slumber party. I'm like, you're gonna have 8 people trying to murder.
The only other thing I can think of that is like while people are warming up the marathon, they'll grab one of them to explain the show to
Yes.
the marathon. Just one person.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise it's overwhelmed.
I thought I had that written down. So yeah, good call. The house manager or the manager on duty will grab one person from the group like 5 minutes before the show, bring them into the green room. You'll get to see the living arrangements that they've arranged for themselves, and you'll try to explain your show to whoever is awake and paying attention.
Of what available and yeah, ready to listen.
And then you'll do the show very shortly, which is great. Cool. The next thing
Actually,
is.
could I-
Oh yeah. Yeah. Questions about all
I
that?
just had one thing too, is just
Yeah.
like, as someone who's directed a show, and who's also been in the marathon, I think one thing that's really important if you do have a show is like trusting the marathoners. Like, these are all people who've been performing for a long time, and like they know what they are doing, and they're not gonna do something to like specifically try and mess up your show.
They're not trying to mess up.
Yeah.
They might mess up.
They might, they
They're
might.
not trying.
But I like, it's also a really cool part as one of the performers is to be almost, it's a really beautiful moment to be kind of welcomed into the show that is going on, and to be welcomed into 48 different shows over the 47, because my
Yeah.
shows are 2 hours.
Damn you,
But-
Maestro.
but like, it's a really cool connection, and it's a really cool way to build that community. So I like that. That's just all that I wanted to add there.
And just like piggybacking on that, also just assume goodwill
Okay.
from the marathoners.
Right.
They're, yeah, be generous as possible, because sometimes things just come out wrong. I know, like, I'm a typically kind of blunt person in the first place, and then, like, with no sleep, you end up being more blunt than you would normally be, and it's not coming from a place of anything other than just like, hey, this is the thing that I need, or whatever. So, if somebody says or does something that feels off, maybe just give it your most generous possible interpretation, and like, like what happens at the marathon stays.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
What other questions? Yeah.
Last one, from a performance perspective, is very helpful. Other than that they're masochists, possibly borderline with some psychosis of some kind, what is it that drives somebody to do this? You've got people that repeat this year after year? Why?
Yeah. This is Courtney's third or fourth time doing it.
Okay.
And so here's a few things I'll say about it, which is, one thing we discovered is that the marathon levels performers up, almost across the board. They come out of the marathon being a stronger, more confident performer than they were going into it. We didn't expect that, but it turned out to be true, because after you've done like Dickens followed by like freestyle rap followed by like dubbing videos, and you've done it for 48 hours, you're like, I knew anything, and it's all kind of the same, and who cares? And nothing else really seems like a challenge. Also, yeah, it's just something new and entertaining to do to yourself in this bleak and terrifying world, I guess.
I think it's one of the same reasons that people do running marathons. It's like to push yourself and see how far you can go, and can you do it. Also, you're so close to everybody. Like, there's a sense of community that builds around the core that just isn't matched elsewhere. Like, people who were in my core marathons, I'm just like, you're one of my people. One of the people was pregnant during one of mine, and every time I see that baby, I kind of feel like it's, kind of mine. I'm there, but it's like, sweet man, Caitlin.
Oh my god.
Yeah. She hadn't told anybody. But we kind of all were like, the whole marathon, we were like,
Oh my god.
it was great.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Interesting. Any other questions about shows
Great.
and how they work?
She checked with her doctor, and he said it was okay.
Kind of incredible. All right, let's talk about promotion and getting the word out. So we've pretty much got the volunteers covered, which is amazing. Whether or not we've done enough promotion, we've done a ton of promotion, and Courtney actually has scheduled like all this promo to go out during the marathon because she's our marketing person, which is super incredible. But during the marathon, really the best promotion the marathon gets is word of mouth, and that comes from everyone watching this video and all the volunteers and anyone in the audience. So basically, we're Hideout Theater, all one word, on all the social media platforms, and that's theater with an R-E. So tag the crap out of us, and if you use a hashtag, it's Hideout Marathon, all one word. And but basically the way it works is like take some photos, take some video during the show that you're either volunteering for or just watching, and then like as you're walking to your car or whatever, like, or between shows if you're staying, post like picture or video from it and say like, I just saw this wild thing, you wouldn't believe like where they're at. And then like if you would also like to experience the marathon, you can literally come to the theater right now, because that's super cool. So unlike most shows where it's like, I saw this super cool show, come a week from now and see the show again, it's literally come down right now. If you can't sleep, come to the theater.
And this is something we should probably message Fallout, because they're 2 blocks away. If you're at a late night show at another theater and it's the last show that theater's doing that night, just remind everyone if they want to see more improv, they can come to the Hideout. There's plenty of shows still happening. I think we'll get some people there.
Also, if I recall correctly, the bars close at 2, so if you want to keep the party going.
We had some people that worked at bars across the street at Higher Ground that came to watch the shows after work because they're like, we're off work now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
usually get
Usually
a little
2,
bump.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing. But promotion is huge, especially once the marathon gets underway. The word of mouth should spread, and we really want people to kind of like, as we reach the home stretch on Sunday, like start filling this audience so that there's a nice build there as well. Which leads us also into fundraising. So our target is still just a modest $3,000. Obviously, we'd love to blow that out of the water. We've tried to simplify fundraising as much as possible. So this year, everything is through Venmo. So there'll be QR codes like this amazing banner that Courtney made a couple days ago around the theater. There's a donations page on the website which will give you Venmo and PayPal options as well. Obviously, people can donate when they buy their tickets, or they can donate cash in person. But the Venmo thing is the main thing. So that's how we're doing it. But it's also worth mentioning when you promote the show or talk about the shift you just did, that it's a fundraiser to help the kids program and building connections, and it's super simple to give.
And I would kind of like to give my Building Connections teachers a raise this year if possible, so if we can do it, that would be awesome.
Yeah, totally.
How much have you raised previous years?
Different amounts.
How's it changed?
Last year, our goal was 3,000, and I think we just hit it. We also, that doesn't necessarily count the donations that come through the website when people are ordering tickets, and also the ticket sales themselves. But in pre-pandemic, we had higher goals, and I think we capped out at 5,000
Yeah,
one year.
I think we did 5,000 one year.
We'd like to get back up to that, but we also are
We had
just.
one super generous donation that came in that year that was over.
Yeah, there's one person, every time they perform in the marathon, their parents give $1,000 at the end. And I was like, just invite them every time. That's everything I had on the agenda, but I'm sure there's way more to talk about. What questions or thoughts do y'all have? Let's see if there's anything.
Yeah.
Did you already say how much you raised last year?
Yeah, just around 3,000, right around 3,000. Yeah, maybe probably a little bit more, yeah.
Did you guys fill the Sunday 7 a.m. show?
Just like as far as this actual show schedule, or
Yeah.
Oh,
to be determined.
It was
or
marked as
something
to be
else about
determined. No, but I've got something in the works. I think I'm gonna try to get J-Band to do that idea that was like host the Improv Olympics. Yeah, and then I'm hoping she'll just cast like people from the community to be in that show so that we can get more people on stage.
legally it's called the IO.
Don't get sued by the Olympics or Disney.
That's right.
I'll type it. How many full marathon passes can we sell, or how many?
So we are only selling the passes online, right? Because of what's involved in using. So when people buy passes, they can buy an all access pass through the website, and then they'll get a code from Roy to basically be able to reserve shows.
Got it.
So we're not gonna sell them in person.
Okay.
In the past, we haven't sold a ton in person
Yeah.
anyway, and it kind of just creates another complication.
Right. So that's good. So they do show up in the roster for. I'm in this show. I'm here to watch this show.
Only if they've reserved. So someone. Yeah, that's a good question. Someone buys a pass, or for the people who buy a pass, Roy sends them basically a coupon code that they can then go on the website and like buy tickets and basically get them comped.
Yeah.
Those will show up in the list of people. You don't need to care that if they got it with a pass or whatever.
Okay.
In addition, if they have a pass and they show you like, hey, I have a pass, and then you can see the list of people who bought the passes on the website. You can see that in box office. If they say, hey, I'd also like to reserve these other tickets, you can do that in person as well.
Okay.
And it's just like if they were giving you money, except they're
Yeah.
not gonna.
And you stamp all of the shows they mark the store.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you add, it's all in the instructions that I'll show you, but yeah, and you make sure for each show you add each ticket through the website as though they were buying it, so it doesn't oversell.
Yeah, makes sense.
If you got the pass, do you already have that code?
No, I'm sending out the email tonight.
Okay.
We've sold 10 marathon passes, which is pretty good.
That's great.
And I think we're gonna keep, I think there's no reason why people can't keep buying passes, right? Or should we cut it off when the
I
marathon
mean,
starts?
the only reason would be that if someone buys it at 3 in the morning and you're asleep, they won't know how to.
Those,
I mean, they can't.
those have to come in
They'll have to come in person.
Which I think will be their baseline assumption if they don't
That's
get an
true.
email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to avoid. I think it makes sense, and I think we just have to hold to it. I think last time, especially for the last couple shows, people showed up like 2 minutes before. Hey, I got my full pass, and it's already full inside. Yeah,
Sold
just
out is sold out.
reminder people. Yeah,
Yeah. It doesn't matter how they want to get a ticket. If it's sold out, it's
it's
sold
all
out.
out.
Oh, speaking of, and I'll remind people in the Facebook group as well, our standard hideout policy for improvisers and students still applies. So if a show isn't sold out, you can't get in for free. Also, bear in mind this is a fundraiser for kids.
Yeah.
But
And it's $5.
but we do want audiences. So also we also get it. You're like, I volunteered for 5 hours and I'd like to see a show, please. We're like, cool.
Yeah.
If it's not sold out, you can get in for free. It's no problem.
But worth repeating, no one walks through the door of a theater without a ticket, which is the program.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
they got that by it being given to them, or they bought a ticket, or there's open spots, like they have to have a thing. They have to have that program, or they do not have a ticket.
Somebody asked online, how do we check to see who's managing during our shifts? So when you're there, it'll probably be obvious, but there'll also be posted lists of all the volunteers.
It'll be
and-
written on the dry erase board too.
It'll be written on the-
Manager on duty is, and
Yeah.
so you can pop your head in the green room and see like, okay, that's the person. Chances are the box office will also know who was in charge, because the last person who's in the box office, because they.
If I remember, I'll also send out in an email before the marathon starts a list of the managers on duty and what time slots they're in, so you know ahead of time who to check in.
I think last year we had the huge wall with like the printouts, and I think everyone's position was listed on that. Are we gonna have that again this year or no?
Have what?
We had like this huge printout of like every single show that was happening and who was on shift, like by the tech booth last year.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
We just like cross them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Chris Vilfano asked in the chat, they probably already got the supplies, but does the hideout already have poopery for the performers?
Yes, we do.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
poopery is an
There's
essential.
an Asana task that I have repeating yearly to buy it, and I do.
It is a critical item. Have we addressed volunteers not using the upstairs restroom only being reserved for marathoners? No, we haven't.
No, we haven't. The upstairs bathroom is going to be reserved for the 8 marathon people only. There will be a sign on it. Don't ignore the sign.
Is that only during? Is that during the between shows, or is that all the time?
I think during shows when the 8 people are on stage,
Yeah.
it's probably okay to use it.
But also like be chill. Like if they're about to come off stage, don't run in there.
Yeah.
Like, they
Yeah.
don't have much time. Like, be
Yeah,
chill.
they have
Let them
very
have
little
that.
time.
Yeah.
And speaking of the bathroom, for the managers on duty, if you need any supplies, talk to the barista. They can point you at garbage bags or soap or toilet paper.
Cool.
Last time there was like a running tally of donations to like keep the hype up. How do we get that updated? Like who has that info?
Manager on duty, that'll be one of the things that they are keeping track of, and they will update it on the whiteboard where we keep track of what hour we're on. Usually, is that that's how it works? They don't really have the ability to check it, so it's when one of us is awake
You
and
post it on the
remembers
WhatsApp.
to send them. Oh yeah. Also, I'm sure you all got a notice from me in one way or another, but there's a WhatsApp group of volunteers. It'd be cool if everyone was on it, just because I think that would be a really handy method of communication during the marathon. Yeah. Any other questions?
Will volunteers still get T-shirts?
Oh yeah, if you do 5 or more shifts, you're gonna get a free T-shirt.
Hell yeah.
I'll reach out about that. Obviously, as the marathon goes on, the sizes will disappear. This year we have 2 different colors, so please don't get picky about colors because I know one of them is gonna be way more popular than the other one, but I don't know which one that'll be. And so you get what's left. And then also, we'll probably do another run if we run out of your size. So if you're like, I cannot wear another size, let us know. We'll figure it out.
Also, the kids, this year the camp is over. So any extra T-shirts that y'all want at the kids camps, which are I think a very cool T-shirt. If y'all want one of those, and they have it in your size, you can also take that instead of the marathon one.
They're all over.
Yeah. It's the last day of camp.
And the camp shirts are really cool. They have like a retro kind of faded vibe.
It's a beautiful color too. Look up. Courtney knows them. It's green. It's kind of like a foresty green. Yeah.
So it'll work if you're like a size 1 or 2, right?
No, there's metal sizes. Hey, Deborah.
Yeah. We have teens, so we are there are lots of sizes from 2X. We do have tiny ones, but we also have gigantic ones. These are children that come to my camp.
Sweet. I think that's everything. You're gonna get several more emails depending on what your role is. Also, everyone, if you don't know Norman, Norman's one of the people who somehow signed up for this. Thanks, y'all. That's it. I have a few minutes after this, so if you're interested, I'm gonna record some people just saying encouraging words to the marathoners or giving them advice if they have advice. And I'll just be here with my phone once we stop the stream. And thank you for streaming, by the way. Cool. Thanks. That's it, y'all. Thanks so much.
Shouldn't have sat in front of you because every time I get
Adrian,